former President Trump makes his official announcement, a formal announcement that he will be running for presidency. And the PPI numbers actually came in with a beat. The month-over-month data of 0.2% increase versus the market expectations or forecast of 0.4% lead to a positive catalyst. Smaller PPI usually means that or signifies a potential peak of inflation. So the markets can actually see an upside move alongside DWAC. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a DWAC, DWAC, statistical and technicals thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community, ARCab, in Discord. With that said, let's begin. Okay, so you guys, I'm actually still quite under the weather. If my voice starts going away, please bear with me. If I pause here and there, just know that I'm trying my best. I'm still not feeling too well, but we'll get through it. These are important times. Okay, so raw price action. Let's look at this. So we did have a print of a massive hammer candle in which we talked about could present a reversal of price. Now, when we print another bullish hammer like this now presents a continuation to the upside since it is at the downtrend. Okay, so we did use support from a couple technical levels, including the 5 fib at 2503 and also the 1 fib at 2544. These were important forms of support before us continuing on to the upside. The recovery was massive, and now we are currently being supported by the NOT 382 at 2615. This is very, very good for us to have on our side. Now, based on a statistical metric that we have taken based on a back test of volatility versus momentum, we have actually gained an average mean for us to apply a metric to the upside. And now that metric is this right over here. Now, based on all of the iterations that we have taken the test from since the beginning of the trading of the DWAC asset, 3 of 3 iterations were actually guessed to the upside and to the downside. So we have a 50-50 split. But I am remaining bullish on DWAC for the moment. Please know that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. I need you guys to do your own DD and we will be okay, because I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any asset. Okay, so the average upside accuracy we have is of course 50%. The average upside thrust is 23.23% over the span of just over 8 days. So now let's go ahead and apply that 23.23% to the upside for now. So we can see that we can be pushed to $32.29, which is very much in confluence with our 2.618 at 32.72. This is likely a place that we can find some resistance. If not, we can push to the shorter time frame, 3.618, 34.41, followed by finding support at our 2.618, 32.72. This could be likely an area for us to find support before a continuation onto the upside. Now, continuing onto the upside beyond the statistical metric would actually imply a sense of FOMO. So there is the potential to where President Trump's announcement today of running a presidency could actually trigger a FOMO event for DWAC. So we do have to prepare for those types of moves to the upside. Okay, so there are a couple targets that we can see above us. First of all, the 39.41 that we talked about peaking here. We also do have resistance at the 4.236. This is the 43.55, and more importantly, the 4.618 at $46.11. This could likely present this range in between both of those technical targets from the Fibonacci retracement could serve as one of the take profit zones. Please, if I've known anything in trading, is not to be overly greedy, right? Because there's always opportunities. I get it. We can squeeze shorts. We can do this. We can moon, right? But we can actually also make our moon rise with smaller increments on the way up and guaranteed increments, right? Sometimes it's okay to take profits and not take them out too early, of course, but who's to judge what's too early or what's too late, right? But we will know once we do. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the statistical metric here. We were talking about both the volatility component and I'm gonna just move my my implied path, which is already in play. As you can see here, we need both of the volatility component and the moving average pivoted towards the downside and below what I consider to be extreme expansive volatility accumulation. This is the 90 percentile. Anything above this would be that that collecting of high volatility incoming. So, and the second requirement to that criteria was the stochastic momentum average and signal line both pivoted towards the upside. As you can see here, we are still suggesting an upside continuation. A move to the upside is likely to happen tomorrow. So based on statistics, not to mention that we did get the presidential announcement, and that's great. So, but besides that, in technical terms, in statistical terms, we are in play. So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. This was a 2-day print of an inverted hammer that we're looking at. Usually these things don't look too good. So if we're looking at a 2-day or people trading the 2-day chart, we could potentially see a test of the 2398 level before a continuation onto the upside. But this is a massive decline from the 2537. Just keep it in mind because we do have the 5 fib as support right here. The 0.5 at 2509 is direct support right here. Okay? But please keep in mind that the 0.382 could also be a form of support before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, so now the last chart is going to be the RSI. Now we did catch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives of hidden bullish. Actually, that's hidden bullish divergence. Oh my goodness. Apologies. This is actually hidden bearish divergence. So the hidden bearish divergence did play out to be perfectly fair. This is what we caught before we noticed that we can actually dive right back into our formation before a continuation onto the upside. Now, the 12-hour RSI is suggesting a continuation onto the upside. You can see this pivot right over here. We are below the moving average, which is bearish, but it looks corrective. It looks like we are actually going to be able to make that corrective move to the upside. And let's go ahead and pull up an image for you guys, since I actually have made a depiction of what my RSI consists of. This is so that I don't have to repeat it over and over every single video. So this is the entire RSI setup, is just like this right over here, so that you can be able to see what zones are what. So let's go ahead and continue on to a multi-pane for DWAC and see what we have for the immediate short term. I mean, it's almost ridiculous to even look at this, since we did have that positive announcement. I almost think it's a guaranteed upside. Don't take my word for that, please, of course. Just there's nothing is guaranteed in the markets is such a terrible thing to say. I apologize. You know, it's just that catalyst is just so massive. If it doesn't go up to the upside, that's why we have stop losses in play. Please make sure to leave those in. Risk management is the most important aspect of trading. We should honor that as such. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we already have those time frames. So let's go and look at the 30-minute immediate short term. We are looking at a strong pivot towards the upside starting immediately in the day. We are above the moving average and now primed to enter the bullish control zone, particularly the weakness bullish percentile. Okay, so now the buy hourly is suggesting for us to continue on to the upside, and it is now rejecting the weakness, the shallow zones of the bull weakness percentile. So as we get closer to the deep areas of the weakness percentile, we'll be more likely to be gravitated into bull strength percentile. Okay, so this is going to be the 6-hour RSI, which actually I think it could be more appropriate to look at the 8-hour. The 8-hour is suggesting a continuation onto the upside, which is in accordance of what we were mentioning on the 2-day chart of a potential downside to 2398 before a continuation onto the upside. Things are rhyming together. It has made a bearish cross below the the moving average, which can suggest a continuation for sure. But please know that we are still within the grips of the bull strength percentile, so this is likely to be corrective. Okay, now the daily is actually the one that I wanted to talk about. The daily is suggesting a downside as well. Now, please know that the moving average is right down here. We can still use the moving average as a form of support before us continuing on to the upside. These downside suggestions are absolutely technical and have nothing to do with the psychological component that today's economical catalysts have presented. Okay, so with that said, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the trading community in Discord called ARCa. But with that said, I wish you well, a good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.